What's up, my good people, man? It's your boy ZTR back with another video, and right now I want to talk about the Super Bowl and pretty much my prediction. And I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in and subscribing to the channel. It means a lot to me. Now, for all you football fans, this is what we've finally been waiting for. This is what everybody's been anticipating, and I'm gonna just basically tell you, give you the breakdown of each of these teams because this is definitely a rivalry. I must say this is officially a rivalry. This is the second time in a 6-year period where within a 10-year period that these two teams are facing off against each other. And for the 49ers, this is personal. For Joey Bosa, Debo Samuel, those particular players was there in 2019 when they lost to Mahomes the first time. Now take it, this is Mahomes that don't have Tyreek Hill. He don't necessarily have the same players he did. I think the only ones who stayed for those Super Bowl wins that was around in the last for like the first two go-arounds when they beat the Niners and lost to the Buccaneers, which was Brady's last championship, was Hartman. I think Hartman was a stayed. I think Chris Jones. You still got Travis Kelce, but that's pretty much it. No, this Kansas City Chiefs team has went through changes, but they've been consistent for the most part. And I will say that this is two of the strongest teams as far as the NFL is concerned. And let's just keep it real, man. The Niners are the best team in the NFC, period. I've said this even on my I said this on my playoff video. I've said this even in the regular season. The Niners have the best management. This team has went through a very fast rebuilding process, and I need people to understand. Ever since 2011, 2012, since Jim Harbaugh was the coach of that franchise, that team has been a contender. And yeah, there may be a couple seasons where they missed the playoffs, but for the most part, I say in the last 15 years, there's been now 3 quarterbacks that have took this team to a Super Bowl. 3 quarterbacks, okay? And it started from Colin Kaepernick. Well, it would have been Alex Smith against the Giants, but we all know that that punt returner he fumbled the football. He fumbled the football, and the Giants were able to get field position and win that game. But Alex Smith would have took that team to the Super Bowl. And then the following year, when Alex Smith got injured, Kaepernick took over. They even though they lost to the Ravens back when Joe Flacco was the quarterback, and you had the last I think Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and retired. Again, they went with Kaepernick, and then I think a few years later, Jimmy G they trade for Jimmy G. Jimmy Garoppolo is his name. He takes them to a Super Bowl. And that's when they lose to this Chiefs team for the first time. That was 2019. Now, fast forward, it's 2024. And now we're seeing Brock Purdy, a third-string quarterback. And it could be an argument, which is actually debatable, that Trey Lance never gotten that injury. Who knows what would happen? That would have been him last year instead of Brock Purdy. But who knows? So I need people to understand the fact that the Niners have had 3 different quarterbacks lead this team to a Super Bowl. That says a lot about the owner and the management. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you that now, man. Like this team here, man. Like John Lynch, I'm gonna give him his just due, man. John Lynch is one of the best. He's one of the best GMs as far as I'm concerned. It's the way he turned this franchise around. It's amazing. And I'm just gonna keep it real, man. And Jed York, which is the CEO, man, that man has done a great job with this team, with this franchise. Jed York and John Lynch, they've done a fantastic job along with Denise York, the York family. I'll give them their credit. They're trying to tie up with the Rooneys. That's what this comes down to. The York family, like the Rooneys, they trying to get 6. They're trying to get 6 championships, but the Chiefs, man, you're up against a dynasty team. This is calling for this. Now, I'm going to get started. I'm going to read to you a backstory about Andy Reid, because Andy Reid's like Belichick. He's been coaching for decades. Andy Reid been coaching for at least 3 decades, whereas Belichick was coaching since 1975. Reid been coaching since '92. Now, let me just read to you about Reid. Now, Reid was born in 1958. He's my parents' age. Reed was previously the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles from 99 to 2012. Now, I remember when the Eagles played against the New England Patriots back then in that dynasty. When he had Donovan McNabb, that's when the Eagles was in 3 NFC Championship games under Reed. And they beat Michael Vick in the NFC Championship game, but then they lose to Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Yeah, so that was from 99 to 2012. And I'm gonna just note, this is an honorable mention. Andy Reid was Nick Foles' head coach when Nick Foles got drafted from Arizona State in 2012. But the problem with the Eagles wasn't as good when Andy Reid had them. Now, Reid left, took time off. They wound up getting Chip Kelly. Nick Foles became a Pro Bowler. Then years later, when he got Doug Peterson, Nick Foles became the starter, went on a Kaepernick-type run because Carson Wentz was out for the season. He wound up beating New England. But yeah, it started with Andy Reid. Andy Reid coached him first. I'm gonna just make that a note. Andy Reid was Nick Foles' head coach when he came in. Now continuing on. So as the Eagles, he was also the Eagles' vice president in football operations. He is the only NFL coach to win 100 games and appear in 4 consecutive conference championships with 2 different franchises. Okay. So this man been coaching a long time. All right. Again, so now he coached at Missouri, UTEP, Northern Arizona, and San Francisco State. He's from California. He's a BYU graduate, Brigham Young University. Now, from 92 into 98, he started off as the assistant offensive line and tight ends coach for the Packers. And then he was also the assistant head coach with Mike Holmgren from 97-98. Now, for in between 96 and 98, the Packers was in 2 Super Bowls. They beat New England, which was led by Drew Bledsoe. Yes, the Patriots was in Super Bowls before Brady came. But this is back when they had Drew Bledsoe. Brett Favre's them team beat Drew Bledsoe. That was the quarterback that Andy Reid coached. So y'all gotta say that Andy Reid is a legendary coach. He's coached some of the best quarterbacks. Like I just told you, Nick Foles was a Super Bowl champion. Brett Favre also won a championship with Andy Reid as his head coach. Now it's Patrick Mahomes. Now, unfortunate, Donovan McNabb just couldn't do it. But yeah, when Reid had Vic and Donovan McNabb, they just couldn't do it. And it was a lot of competition back then. But yeah, man, Andy Reid could say he coached 3 different quarterbacks that wind up becoming champions. All right, so he's a 2-time Super Bowl champion, both with the Chiefs. AP NFL Coach of the Year in 2002. 3-time Sports News Coach of the Year for 2000, 2002, and 2018. Pro Football Weekly Coach of the Year in 2002. 4-time Maxwell Club NFL Coach of the Year 2000, 2002, 2010, and 2018. He also made the Philadelphia Eagles 75th anniversary team. He's last year's champion. He has a regular season record since coaching the Chiefs to 258, 144-1, which was a tie. Postseason 25 and 16. His career 283-160-1. So you gotta understand, man, Andy Reid is no joke at all. He's like I would say, man, like as of now, he's right behind Belichick. Is amongst the greatest head coaches since the century. Yes, we have some great head coaches, man. We have had Bill Walsh, Jimmy Johnson, right? We got the Steelers head coach, Don Shula, all these wonderful coaches. But Andy Reid's amongst, he's definitely a Hall of Famer. I told you that man is a first ballot Hall of Famer, without a doubt, a shadow of a doubt. And like Belichick, Andy Reid's making it work with guys who are not top tier Pro Bowlers. This is like I said on social media. We got to give the Chiefs a lot of credit for how they beat the Ravens. The Ravens was the hottest team this year. Once again, Lamar Jackson has won a 2nd MVP, and he don't deserve it. Why? Because a team like the Kansas City Chiefs, who's real, show them what time it is. Now, with that being said, Reid is up against Kyle Shanahan. This is Kyle Shanahan's 3rd Super Bowl. The last 2 Super Bowls Kyle Shanahan was ended in a disaster because that man can't seem to figure out how to beat his opponent. I'll be honest, I don't trust Kyle Shanahan in the Super Bowl. Now, he has gotten a lot of time with this 49er team. And maybe they'll do better now that they got Christian McCaffrey at running back. And, they have a different quarterback than Jimmy G. But let's just be honest. This is the same Kyle Shanahan that when he was paired up with Dan Quinn in Atlanta, Matt Ryan was the MVP, right? He had 5,000 yards passing. They had Julio Jones. You had Vic Beasley Jr. They had they had a squad. They had Mohamed Sanu. They had a good team. They also had Devontae Freeman. And they had Trenton Williams. They had 2 legit running backs. That team gave up a 26-0 lead. They were beating up New England the entire first half going into the fourth quarter. What does Brady and Belichick do? They figure out how to stop them. They went, Kyle Shanahan goes completely cold. Abandons the running game and just, again, went gassed out completely. He was lost. Then what happened against the Niners? Same thing happened. Jimmy G was clueless. He kept trying to rely on the passing game. The Chiefs shut down the run, and they were done for. My prediction: this is going to be a close game. This is going to be a low scoring game. This is another situation where we have a veteran quarterback, a championship quarterback, up against a young man in Brock Purdy that's there for the first time. Brock Purdy is right where Jared Goff was when he was in the Super Bowl. Y'all all seen Super Bowl 53. That was a defensive battle. Both teams got some of the best defenses in the league. I'm going to tell you that now. The Kansas City Chiefs teams can cover very well. And this is Brock Purdy that if you watch the Lions game, the Lions could have beat that game. They could have just easily won it. The problem was Dan Campbell. Now, Kyle Shanahan had been coaching a little bit longer than Dan Campbell. That's just what that was. Dan Campbell got out-coached by Shanahan making smarter decisions. But Brock Purdy was able to take over the game. You ain't going to be able to do that against the Lions. How Brock Purdy ran against that Detroit Lions team, he ain't going to be able to do that with the Chiefs. Because you got Chris Jones that's going to be waiting for you. The key to this team, this game here, is who's going to be the most who's going to be fatigued first. Who's going to make the smarter plays? Who's going to be able to keep their composure? Yes, the Niners probably got an 80% chance of winning, but it's not going to be easy. And I'm going to say this, that the Niners have more of a home field advantage because Vegas is not far from California. It's right next door. Nevada and California are next door neighbors. They right near each other. So you're gonna see a lot more Niner fans than you do Chiefs fans. But with the Chiefs, it don't matter where they go. They're proving that. Yeah, it's going to be a low-scoring game. I say the final score is going to be 20-17 Kansas City. It's going to be a low-scoring game. Especially in the first half, don't expect neither one of these two teams to really be getting off like that. I just don't see it, man. You're going to see a lot of 3-and-outs. Now, the thing about the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes is still in his prime. Because I don't think Patrick Mahomes is really even that old neither, man. Pat Mahomes, again, like this is a man that within a 10-year period, he's been to 6 AFC Championship games. This is somebody you got to go through. Now, he's only 28 years old. So this still gonna be the problem with the Niners. Mahomes is still in his prime. He's still winning championships. Again, Mahomes is just like Brady when Brady was 28. When Brady was 28 years old, the New England Patriots was the team you had to stop. They were a dynasty. Patrick Mahomes is basically the new Brady of the league. He's the golden child. We got to give this man his credit. This is why I don't believe the game is scripted. Come on now, how are you gonna write a script with Lamar Jackson playing that badly? And everybody had the Ravens in the Super Bowl because the colors was purple and red. But I told everybody you can't look at that. Did I not tell y'all that? Again, I knew off the top that whoever won out of Buffalo and Kansas City was going to go to the Super Bowl. And now we're seeing it. Patrick Mahomes, at 28 years old, already has 2 Super Bowls. If I'm not mistaken, I think he has an MVP. I think he has, let me see if he has 2 MVPs. He might be up there. Yep. MVP 2018 and 2022. Yeah, he was last year's MVP. Yeah, Mahomes proved he's way better than Lamar Jackson. Like, far better. Like, it's no longer a comparison no more. It's just not. Mahomes got 2 MVPs, and he just beat a player that has 2 MVPs and no rings. He's far better. These people got to stop putting Lamar Jackson above Mahomes. This is Mahomes' league. Yeah, that's the only problem with the Niners. Mahomes knows how to figure it out. Mahomes knows how to break down defenses. He's a way better version of Russell Wilson. It could be an argument. Patrick Mahomes is the greatest African American quarterback to ever play the game. He's far surpassed Cordell Stewart, Doug Williams, Russell Wilson, Donovan McNabb, Steve McNair, God rest his soul, and even Cam Newton, a former MVP himself. None of those quarterbacks got the championships that Mahomes had. Mahomes has 2 championships. Not to forget to mention, this man has won. He's won like 5 AFC championships officially. Yeah, he lost one to Brady. Well, actually, yeah, he lost one to Brady. He lost one to Mahomes to Burrow. But yeah, I think he has like 4. Yeah, he got 4 AFC championships. Well, 5 now. Yeah, I think he should have at least about 4 AFC championship games. Yeah, he won like 4. He won like 5. Yeah, he's won 4 of them. Yeah, he's 4 for 2. The man won 4 AFC championships. He's going for his 3rd ring. Mahomes is basically chasing Joe Montana. Now, Joe Montana retired a Kansas City Chief, even though he's known for the Niners as their Hall of Fame. His last team he played for was the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes has far surpassed Joe Montana and Tim Crow and anybody else that's ever played in that franchise. He's the greatest Kansas City Chiefs quarterback ever. So, yeah, I got to give it to the Chiefs because they're proven. This is a 49ers team where most of their guys this is their first time there. The problem with Brock Purdy, he's going to be under that much pressure. Yeah, Joey Bosa got the experience. You got Deebo Samuel, and you got you got Kittle, but it's going to be hard for him. I'm going to be very honest. The Kansas City Chiefs defense is going to bring that pressure. They're going to bring that heat. Now, let's just take a look at some comparisons. I want everybody to pay very close attention because these are real numbers. Now, this is according to the Washington Post. Now, they says Patrick Mahomes has created a legacy of winning, while Brock Purdy is just starting to build his. Both have been efficient in the pocket, able to avoid trouble and extend plays with their legs. Yeah, so they're both mobile. Like, we're in a generation of the mobile quarterback. As you can see, there's a lot more Michael Vicks than it has been in the last 30 years. Okay? Both can run. Now, Mahomes should be slightly faster than Brock. But let's look at the stats here, right? So, he's 7th. He's 7th in passer rating in the pocket, 108.4. Brock Purdy has an impressive 123.1. Okay? So this goes to show you that it could be an argument Brock Purdy should win the MVP. No, now honestly, no. I would have gave it to Christian McCaffrey. I would have gave the MVP to Christian McCaffrey and let Brock Purdy I would have gave the MVP to Christian McCaffrey. Lamar would have to settle for Offensive Player of the Year because that's what he was. He was not the MVP. Basically, especially how he played against the Chiefs here. And I would have gave the Comeback Player Award to Brock Purdy. The Niners would have been getting 2 awards. Argument, it could be Jared Goff, but there's no way Joe Flacco at 30 years old would have gotten that award over Brock Purdy. The fact that Brock Purdy just played in a 2nd NFC Championship game, which he won. The man was injured last year, but came back the following season as a 1st seed. Last year was a 2nd seed. The Eagles was a 1st seed. This year, he comes back as a 1st seed, and now he goes to a Super Bowl. It's sad. It's robbery. Sack rate when pressured. Patrick Mahomes is 2nd. Brock Purdy is 3rd. So they close. They're not too far apart. Scrambling yards. Patrick Mahomes has a whopping 213, while Brock Purdy 100. So yeah, Patrick Mahomes is clearly the faster quarterback. And that's what the 49ers are going to be looking forward to. They're going to limit Mahomes and what he can do in that pocket. Now, coaching. Now, it's no secret who's the better coach, but we're going to read on. Andy Reid and Kyle Shanahan are no strangers to success. Reid has advanced to the Super Bowl in 3 of the past 5 years, and Shanahan has guided his team to the title game twice since he has been hired in 2017. Which, again, the 49ers went through a very fast rebuild when they traded for Jimmy G, when Kaepernick left. 4 years ago, the Kansas City Chiefs beat the San Francisco in Super Bowl, I think it was a Super Bowl 54, making this the 9th Super Bowl rematch. So now, 4th down decisions, 130 to 100. So again, man, there's a 30-point margin. Went for it. On 4th down, 7% to Kyle Shanahan's 14. But who can blame him? You got Patrick Mahomes, right? You got Mahomes, you got Travis Kelce, and this is when he had Tyreek Hill. So Andy Reid had Juju Smith-Schuster. He had Tyreek Hill. He had some playmakers. So, of course, his percentage is going to be higher. And even then, man, Andy Reid's doing it with receivers that are not even that great. He did not have the best receiving core because Davis Tony was whatever. His best receiver is roughly Hartman. Now, he does have Pacheco, which is running back, which is great. Pacheco can also receive the ball too, but he didn't have the best receivers. And look what he's been able to do. Conversion rate, 52.2. That's 13th in the league. To Kyle Shanahan's 50%, which is 15th in the league. So, yeah, far better quarterback. Now, let's look at the tendency to call a play based on the score. Percentage of passes when leading by 2 or more scores. So he's 9th in the league, 43.6%. 26 to the Niners, 28.7. Within one score. First place goes to Andy Reid with 59.1, whereas Kyle Shanahan is 52.3%. Trailing by 2 scores or more. It's not even applicable. Look at that. That means they never trailed by 2 scores or more. Whereas Kyle Shanahan is 8th, 69.7%. So, yeah, this is why I say I don't trust Kyle Shanahan right now. I don't. Look at that. Tendency to call a pass based on the situation. Percentage of passing plays. First and second downs. 3rd in the league, 54.8%. To Kyle Shanahan is 14th. So he's like in the he's bottom middle half of the field of the league. 3rd and 1 with 3rd and 1 or 2 yards. Look at that. 11th, 43.1%. To Kyle Shanahan's 32.1, 23rd. That's at the bottom. That's not very good. 3rd and 23 plus yards. Look at that. Ranked 6th. To Kyle Shanahan's 17th. If the game is within 1 score. Yeah, I'm clearly taking the Chiefs. If I'm a bet, man, I'm taking the Chiefs in this game. Now, don't get wrong now. Kyle Shanahan is loaded. He got some weapons. Offensively and defensively. But again, you got a quarterback who's there for the very first time. Up against a veteran team. An experienced team. Kyle Shanahan is not better than Andy Reid. He's clearly not. But who knows? Maybe Kyle Shanahan got some tricks up his sleeve. Who knows? Now, scouting reports, right? Look at the offense. Points, look at that. Ranked 10th to the now the Niners are 2nd in offense. I'm going to give the Niners their credit. Like I said, this is a team that's very much improved. They slot receivers, one of the fastest guys in the league. You got Deebo Samuel, George Kittle. Christian McCaffrey is the best running back in the league, without a doubt. Now, this is where this Niners got the Chiefs beat. Look at offense EPA per game. They're first place to the 11th. Pass EPA per game, 2nd, plus 8.8 to the Chiefs 9th. So they're not too far apart there. The rush, first place. Like I said, they got a far better running game. The Chiefs gonna have their hands full defensively with Christian McCaffrey. Look at most common personal groupings. So you can see this here, right? I want everybody to look at these numbers. Now let's look at the touchdown leaders. The Chiefs scored 46 touchdowns this season, tied for the 10th most in NFL. Now Isaiah Pacheco, this is the guy. Now this is going to be a battle between who has the most yards. Whichever running back can get at least over 100 yards, going to be to win this game. It's going to be basically Isaiah Pacheco versus Christian McCaffrey. Listen, he's 12. Rashee Rice, 8. Travis Kelce was their best receiver. He's their best offensive scorer. He has 8. Jerick McKinnon, 5. Justin Watson with 3. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Now, he was there last year. This is another veteran. This guy. This is their backup. He's not bad at all. He's solid. He ain't the best, but he's solid. He'll give at least 6 or 7 per carry. And then Noah Gray. So look at that, man, right? This is not the best squad they've had. They've had better teams. Like when Tyreek Hill and Juju Smith-Schuster was all over there, it was better teams. But again, the fact that Patrick Mahomes is making it work with this team here, that's phenomenal. Let's look at the 49 touchdown leaders. And as expected, Tristan McCaffrey got 25 touchdowns. Look at scored 68 touchdowns this season. 2nd most in NFL. Deebo Samuel, 12. Look at Brandon Ayuk, right? 8. This guy is going to be an X factor. Look for him to get it going. George Kittle, veteran tight end, at 7. Elijah Mitchell, 3. See, all these guys tied 3. But look at this, very solid. Extremely solid, man. Okay, so the 49ers definitely got the offense needed. The only issue is, can Brock Purdy get past that defense? Now we look at the defensive rating. Now, this is where things get spicy. Even though the 49ers might have better offense, you up against a team that's ranked second in defense to the 49ers 10th. That's going to be the factor, is that defense. Okay? If y'all look at that Ravens game, the San Francisco 49ers, everybody had every defensive player, from the safeties to the linemen to the linebackers, they were up on their defense assignments pretty well. That means this team knows how to watch game film. They know how to scout you. Okay? That's why I say this is going to be a low-scoring game. Because you have the number 2 defense up against the number 1 offense. They're going to cancel each other out. Like I said, it's going to be just like when the Patriots played the Rams. Neither team is going to be getting off like that. Even then, look at that. Plays allowed per drive. Look at that, close. 26-28. So it's very close. Touchdown percentage allowed. The Chiefs are 4th to the 49ers 11th. Coverage tendencies. Look at that. 31.2% man-to-man. Zone, 63%. Now, the 49ers have better zone, but it's 20% man-to-man. But again, like I said, it's going to cancel each other out. It's going to be very close. Red zone defense. The Chiefs are 8th to the Niners 14th. Now, Steve A. Smith pointed out something very, very notable. The Chiefs, the 49ers secondary could get real suspect, especially late game decisions, man. That's the thing, man. The Niners secondary, they're going to be in for a long night with Patrick Mahomes. They better not let Patrick Mahomes get going, especially in that third quarter. Because if you playing weak defense, Patrick Mahomes going to expose you, just like he did the Ravens. And yes, the Ravens defense, they did a stellar job. The problem was Lamar Jackson in that game, but it's going to be very hard. Look at it. Percentage of opponents' 3 and out drives, both tied at 16. So yeah, it's going to be a very, very close game. Now, we're going to look at the key players. Like I told you, Isaiah Pacheco. The second-year pro carried the ball 268 times for 1,189 yards. 10 touchdowns during the regular season and playoffs. He also caught 50 of 55 targets. I told you, this man can also receive the ball. He's very fast. Pacheco is very underrated. He's extremely underrated. To me, he's a better version of Patrick Lindsey. That's who he reminds me of, Patrick Lindsey. Patrick Lindsey, for those of you who don't know, he was the Denver Broncos running back who wore the same numbers as Terrell Davis, which Terrell Davis wasn't even tripping. But that's what he reminds me of, Patrick Lindsey. Better version of him. Look at that, 271 yards and 2 or more touchdowns. 3 yards per carry after contact. That means he's strong. He may look skinny, but this man is extremely strong, man. Well built. 27 rushes of 10 or more yards. So yeah, it's going to be the battle between him and CMC. Rashid Rice. Now this is the rookie. Established himself as one of the Chiefs' top targets. Passed the game with 127 balls thrown his way this season, including in the playoffs. Look at that, 18.4 of team targets, 2.4 yards per run. So again, you look at this guy versus Zay Flowers. Again, Mahomes is clearly the better quarterback. Now, Chris Jones. Now you see why Travis Kelce begged Chris Jones to re-sign that contract. When Chris Jones held off early in the season, the first 3 or 4 games, Travis Kelce begged him to come back. And the Chiefs had no choice but to give that man his contract. Look at that. 25% win rate on pass rush snaps, 53 total pressure yards. So if you're the 49ers, Brock Purdy better pray and hope that offensive line holds up, because this man is coming for you. He is the second best defensive tackle behind Aaron Donald. And I do mean that with all due respect. That's not cap at all. Again, since Chris Jones has been there, this team has been in 6 AFC Championship games, all while he's been there. During the regular season, he's produced 75 quarterback pressures. And 10 or more pressures during the playoffs. So this man is no joke. Then we got Trent McDuffie. DB. Look at that. Moved to slot cornerback role. Didn't slow him down. Allowed 1 reception per 10 snaps in slot coverage. Tied for 5th best. We got 11 passes defended, 5 forced fumbles. Now we got the Niners. Then we got Mr. Brock Purdy. Now, Brock has a chance to prove that he's better than Jimmy G and Kaepernick. He has a chance to do what they could not do, which they call him Mr. Irrelevant. 262nd, yeah, I think 262nd and last pick of the 2022 draft with last year. Was one of the finalists of this year's MVP. And rightfully so. Look at that. 113 passer rating, 13.7 yards completion. So that's amazing. Trent Williams, left tackle. Again, this is a dog here. 3 consecutive first-team All-Pro selections to illustrate his value protecting the quarterback's blind side. He has been responsible for 2 sacks, 3 seasons combined. We got a 5 and 17 pass. This guy's going to be covering Chris Jones. Look for Chris Jones and Trent Williams in that battle. This guy's going to be on Chris Jones' side the whole time. Yeah, look for him to guard Chris Jones. Nick Bosa, one of the best edge rushers. Look at that, 110. 12.1 sacks. Former Defensive Player of the Year. Again, another dog, man. Like I say, they got some guys. The 49ers, they're loaded. They're stacked. Fred Warner, this guy here, man. This guy killed my Cowboys. D'Amico Ryans, man. This guy coached, this guy, Fred Warner, man, is impressive. He's known for giving the Cowboys and Packers the blues. Look at 152 tackles. 4 forced fumbles. So, again, man, Chiefs got to be careful. Because this guy here is going to be the key to stopping Mahomes. I guarantee you they're going to have this guy spying on Mahomes the whole game. He's going to be covering Mahomes. And Mahomes run, look what this guy getting his way. Now, I don't know why they got Taylor Swift over here, man. Like, ignore this. They trying to be funny. This does not matter, man. I don't know why they keep doing this, man. Listen. Yes, her and Travis Kelce, they have a relationship. They obviously been going with each other for a while, but I need people to understand the Chiefs, like I've explained and like I've shown y'all, this team has been winning championships before Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce even got with each other. Okay? Just because she shows up the game don't mean nothing. It really don't. And that's it. Now let me talk about this too. Do not listen to this guy at all. Ignore Larry Johnson at all times. This man is a hater, man. I'm getting real sick and tired of him. This is the main guy that's been telling you the game is rigged and scripted, right? This man is upset that the Kansas City Chiefs won't put him into the Hall of Fame. Because Larry Johnson has roughly Hall of Fame numbers, and he's been to the Pro Bowl multiple times, but Larry Johnson screwed his career up multiple times. Now, I have a video. I did a video on Larry Johnson before, but Larry Johnson is somebody who's angry and bitter. So everything this man tells you, man, is just something to get attention. That's it. Ignore Larry, man. Because the simple fact that the Chiefs are this good, and the fact that this team has been in 6 AFC Championship games, and the fact that Patrick Mahomes has his team clicking, you would think this man would be happy for that organization. No, Larry wants to tear them down. That's when he started going public. And it started with him getting involved with a warlock and Zachary K. Hubbard, who I used to go back and forth on my first YouTube channel, which got me views, man. Like I said, man, when it comes to conspiracy theories, I'm like 10-0. Okay? This guy got involved with Hubbard and they brainwashed him. And ever since the Chiefs started showing up in these AFC Championship games, this man been coming out, going public, saying it's scripted and rigged. This man's a lie. The truth ain't in him. All right? The Chiefs worked very hard to get to where they are. And I remember a time when the Chiefs wasn't winning nothing for years. I was born in 1990, so that was a time when the Chiefs, again, were failing every single year. Right? This is a team that had, Randall Cunningham at one time and couldn't do nothing. They've had Priest Holmes on that team, Tony Gonzalez, Ty Law. They had max guys and couldn't do it. Okay? Even when they had Alex Smith, they were not good. And Dwayne Bowe, right? Eric Flowers, they still were not good enough to beat the teams in the playoffs. They couldn't beat the Colts. They couldn't beat the Patriots. There was teams they just couldn't beat. But Andy Reid saw something in Patrick Mahomes and had Michael Vick train him. So again, man, the fact that Larry Johnson is being this negative is sad. Again, ignore Larry at all times. I'm sorry, man. Larry Johnson needs help. For real, man. And see, the problem is there was no Patrick Mahomes, there was no Travis Kelce, or no Chris Jones when he was playing. That's what this is about. He's mad he can't get a ring. He's a bitter black man who's hating on the younger generation. So that's it, man. Wherever Larry goes on, whether it be TikTok, Instagram, whatever, ignore him. Because this man got a problem, man. He really do. But that's it, y'all. That's the video, man. So I hope that breaks it all down for you. Thank you to all who like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what